forehead if you'd like, maybe under your hips. Find intention for class here today. Maybe rolling your head side to side. Deep inhales through your nose. Fill your lungs all the way to the top. Hold it for a breath. Exhaling all the way out through your nose. One more breath just like that through your nose. Hold it at the top. And exhale all the way out. Go ahead and tempt your fingers, lifting your palms off of the floor, pressing your fingertips into the ground, stretching your forearms, feeling that stretch all through your shoulders. Releasing your palms back down to the floor. Bend your elbows, bringing your palms to touch. Option to bring your thumb to the nape of your neck for a tricep stretch. If you'd like an even deeper stretch, option to gently walk one elbow at a time further towards the crown of your head. Still sinking your hips towards your heels. If you have your elbows bent, you'll release your palms back down towards the floor. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, placing your right palm on top of your left, keeping your forehead on the floor or a block. Gently pressing your right hip towards your right heel and rotating that right shoulder down towards the floor. On your next exhale, gently walk your hands through center, coming over to the left side of your mat, placing your left palm on top of your right. Feeling that deep stretch all along the left side body as you simultaneously press your left hip towards your left heel. If you would like an even deeper stretch, gently rotating that left shoulder down towards the floor. Holding and breathing. On your next exhale, walk your hands back to center. Go ahead and slowly walk your hands towards your knees, drawing your knees to touch. From here, we're going to stack our shoulders on top of our hips. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Bring your palms to touch, hands to heart center. Release your hands to the tops of your knees. Round your spine, coming into cat. Arching your spine, gaze comes lifted, hands to your hips. One more time through. Pulling your hands towards your knees, rounding your spine, gaze towards your navel. Drawing your hands to your hips, arching your spine. And then come back to a neutral spine, shoulders stacked over your hips. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Go ahead and draw your right arm down, left arm comes up high overhead. Left bicep to left ear, cactus the arm. Extend your left arm again. Rotate your left pinky towards your right thumb and then draw your left arm down around in front. Left hand comes down, right arm comes up high overhead. Right bicep to right ear, cactus arm, draw your elbow down, fingertips spread wide. And then drawing your right pinky towards your left thumb. Arms come back down in front. Go and draw your arms up high overhead. And then bringing your right hand to the outside of your left knee, left hand towards your floor or towards your left heel, and gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to deepen that stretch. Arms come up high overhead, left hand to right knee, right arm comes behind your back. Looking over your right shoulder. Inhale to lengthen, exhale as you deepen that stretch. Come back to center, draw your arms up high overhead, hands back to center, and then walk yourself back out to a tabletop position. From here, just do a few hips side to side, any organic movement that feels good to you today. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Inhale, lift your gaze, hammock your belly down towards the floor. Relax your toes, scoop and arch, rounding your spine up for cat. A few more times here. Round your spine, tucking your toes, and then scoop and arch. One more time through, coming through flat back, And then scoop and arch. Go ahead and come back, find a center spine, lift your right knee, keep your knee bent, draw a few hip circles here with your right knee. And then reverse the direction. Release your right foot back to meet the left, lift your left knee, keeping your knee bent, draw a few hip circles here on the left side. And then reversing that direction. Go ahead and release your left knee back down to meet the right. Go ahead and draw your arms out, keeping your hips forward, coming in a puppy dog. Maybe bringing your forehead back down towards the floor. Maybe your forearms and elbows touch. You can also tempt your fingers, lifting your palms up for a deepening shoulder stretch. Go ahead and release them back down to the floor. Gently walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, coming back through tabletop. Doing any additional organic movements that you may need to do, side to side. Maybe drawing a few hip circles. And then, of course, reversing that direction. Go ahead and come back to your tabletop. Lift your left arm high towards the ceiling. Draw your left arm under and through the right side body, hovering and holding. Lift the left arm once more up towards the ceiling, under and through the right side body, hovering and holding for 3, 2, and 1. Release that left arm down. Option to bring your left ear or cheek down towards the floor. You're welcome to keep that right hand boxed out. You can also extend that right arm long. You can bind that right arm around your back towards your left waist. You have that right arm lifted. Go ahead and release it back down towards the floor. Lift your left arm up high towards the ceiling. Release it back down towards the floor. Lift your right arm up high towards the ceiling. Open up your chest. Exhale as you draw the right arm under and through the left side body. Right arm comes up high overhead. Draw it under and through, pulling even further, hovering and holding. Release that right arm down, maybe releasing your right cheek or ear towards the floor or maybe towards a block. Same options here. You can keep that left hand boxed out. You can also extend it out long in front, palms facing down, or tempting your fingers. You can also bind that left hand opening up your chest. Your next exhale, go ahead and release that left hand back down towards the floor. Pressing up, open up, and then release your right hand back down to the ground. Go ahead and bring your hands up, palm front forward, tuck your toes, lifting your hips, coming to our first downward facing dog of the morning. Maybe pedal your heels one at a time. Biceps frame your ears, gaze towards your navel or the tops of your thighs. Go ahead and lift both of your heels high off the floor. Lower them over to the left side body. Feeling that deep stretch all along the left side. Lift your heels up, lower them this time over to the right side. Lift your heels once more. Lower them down towards center. Have a soft bend in your knees. Gently walk your hands towards your toes. Maybe bend and extend both of your knees. With a soft bend and both of your knees, go ahead and release your right hand down towards your left ankle or a block. Release your left arm high towards the ceiling. Have a deep bend in that right knee. Left arm can be up or down towards the floor. Bring the left arm down, switching sides. Left hand to the outside of your right ankle or a block. Right arm comes up high overhead. Gaze can be up or down. Keep that deep bend in your left knee. Go ahead and release your right hand down towards the floor. Maybe pedal your heels one at a time. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows, swaying side to side and ragdoll. From here, go ahead and release your hands back down towards the floor. Gently roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Once you get to the top, bring your arms up high overhead. Release your left arm and bend over to the left side body. Go ahead and cactus that arm. Extend the arm long. Come upright, right hand down, left arm comes up high overhead. Cactus the arms for the fingertips nice and wide. One more time through on each side. Come upright, left arm down, right arm overhead. Bending the body even further over to the left side, bumping your hip over to the right. Bend the elbow and extend. Coming upright to the other side, right hand down towards your right hip. Left arm comes up high overhead. Bend the elbow and extend. Go ahead and come upright, draw your arms up high overhead. Swan dive forward. Half lift, hands to shins, flat back, crown of your head, pulling away from your body, back to a forward fold. With softening knees, gently walk your hands back out. Find your downward facing dog. Pedal your heels once more. If both of you here is lowered toward the floor, go ahead and look under your left shoulder. Come back through center, look under the right shoulder. Stretching those neck muscles this morning. Come back through center. Go ahead and bend your knees coming into power dog. Shins are hovering. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, and 1. Gently press forward into high plank. We're going to lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down, keeping your hands under your shoulders. Relax the top shoulders portion of your toes on the floor, pressing up for mini cobra. Release back down. Go ahead and extend your left arm long directly out from your shoulder. Keep your right hand boxed out. Lift your right leg, lift it up and over the outside of your left hip, opening up your left shoulder and your right hip. Roll back onto your tummy. Bring both hands underneath your shoulders, pressing up, mini cobra. Release down. Go ahead and extend your right arm long from your shoulder. Keep your left hand boxed out. Lift your left leg, draw it up and over the outside of your right hip, opening up your right shoulder, opening up that left hip. Coming back through center, rolling onto your stomach, hands under your shoulders, coming up, mini cobra. Releasing down. One more mini cobra, lift up, release your palms off of the floor, extend your arms forward, tee out your arms out to the side, and draw your hands back, palms facing down. Option to lift your legs. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Hold the legs lifted, tee out your arms, draw your hands back under your shoulders, release your toes, pressing up all the way, full cobra. Gaze over your left shoulder, back up towards the ceiling, over your right shoulder, back up towards the ceiling. Bring your gaze forward, tuck your toes, coming through tabletop or pressing straight up through downward facing dog. Pedal your heels. All right, let's get some more movement going this morning. From here, go ahead and lift your right leg coming into three-legged dog. Go ahead and draw your right knee in towards your nose. Hold there for 3, 2, and 1. Plant your right foot in between your palms. Maybe shifting forwards and backwards. Keep your left hand to the inside of your right foot or bring your left hand to a block. Lift your right arm high towards the ceiling, opening up your chest. Maybe circle out your wrist. You can also circle out your shoulder forwards and backwards. Bring the right hand down atop the left for 2. Lift it up. And 1. Hold the right arm high towards the ceiling. We're going to pivot onto that back left outside foot. Drawing the left hip down, draw your right elbow towards your left knee. Lift it up. Coming back down, pivot that left hip down, right elbow to right knee. Lifting back up. Go ahead and bring your right hand down towards the floor. Walk your hand out towards the outside of your right hand, bringing your toes to about 2 o'clock. Option to bring your left knee down towards the floor or to a block. Maybe shifting forwards and backwards, opening up that hip. Few options here. You can come down onto your forearms. You can also bring your forearms down to a block. If you'd like, you can try flying lizard. You can place your right elbow underneath your right knee. Draw your left elbow underneath your left hip and extend your legs out. Maybe teeter forward, lift your legs. You can also always place a block underneath your hips. Just a few options. If you want to open up that hip more, keep your left hand on the floor. Place your right hand to the inside of your right knee. Relax your left toes and opening up very gently that right knee, gazing, looking over your right shoulder. Hold that bind. Bend your back left knee. Reach for your toes. And releasing everything back down. Go ahead and tuck your left toes. Lift your right leg high towards the ceiling. Go ahead and lower that right leg. Maybe pedal your heels here. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and lift your left leg high towards the ceiling. Keep your left toes flexed. Draw your left knee in towards your nose. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Place that left foot in between your palms. Maybe shift forwards and backwards. From here, go ahead and lift your left arm high towards the ceiling. Keep your right hand to the inside of your left foot or towards a block. Maybe circle out your left wrist. Maybe circle out your shoulder, forwards and backwards. Go ahead and draw that left hand down, tap into right, lift it back up once more, tap down, lift it up. All right, we're going to pivot on that back right outside foot. Draw the left elbow down towards left knee. Your right hip does not have to tap the floor. Lifting back up. Once more. Right hip towards the floor. Draw that left elbow down towards your left knee. Lifting back up. All right, go ahead and release your left hand down to the floor. Walk your left foot to the outside of your left wrist. Toes are at 10 o'clock. Release your right knee to the floor or to a block. Untuck your right toes, maybe pressing forward, pressing the hips back, coming to a half split. Whatever feels good to you in your body this morning. Go ahead and hold that hinge forward. Options here, you can come down, bring your hands down towards the floor or to blocks. You can keep your body upright if you'd like as well. If you'd like, you can also try flying eagle on this side. You can place your right elbow underneath your right hip, or you can place blocks there. You can also extend your left arm out underneath your left leg. Teeter forward, lift your legs, and then releasing everything down. For a deeper hip stretch, place your right hand back on the floor, untuck your right toes, bring your left hand to the inside of your left knee, gently press open as you look over your left shoulder. Hold it here, bend that left knee, reach your left hand back, and coming back upright. Release your left hand down to the floor, tuck your right toes, lift your left leg high to the ceiling, plant your left leg down, go and pedal your heels here. Come forward into high plank. We're going to lower down, elbows tucked in. Option, bring your knees down to the floor, lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Coming up, full cobra. Press up to downward facing dog, pedal your heels. All right. We're going to lift that right leg high to the ceiling. Keep your right toes flexed. Draw your right knee to the outside of your right elbow. Kick it back. Knee to nose. Kick it back. Right knee to left elbow. Hovering and holding. Go ahead and kick that right leg through. Lift your left arm high to the ceiling. Fall in triangle. We're going to lower the hips. Go ahead and spiral your arms back, left hand to the outside of your left hip. Reach your right arm high to the ceiling. Reach your right hand to the outside of your left foot, maybe your left ankle, your calf, your knee, hinging forward. Go ahead and come back up. Bring your right hand to the outside of your right hip. Coming back through, stargazer. Lift your left arm up high overhead. Bring your left hand down in front. Walk your hands back. Draw your knee in towards your chest. Kick it straight back. Step the right foot in between your palms, coming up to high crescent. Shoulders stacked over your hips. We're going to cactus the arm, bend that back left knee for 3. And lift. That's 2. And lift. 1 more. Hold it high. We're going to hinge forward, airplane the arms back for 3. Lifting up, ball of your back left foot, press into the floor. That's 2. Coming up. And 3. All right, hold it in high crescent. Inhale, exhale as you open to warrior 2. Pivot your left toes back. Deep bend in that front right knee. We're going to straighten the arms. And bend. Once more, straight arms come up high overhead. And bend. Go ahead and straighten the front right leg. Coming into reverse triangle, right arm comes up high overhead. Coming through forward, right hand down. Left arm comes up high overhead. One more time through reverse your triangle. Left arm combined behind your back or down your left leg. Back through triangle. Option to hold here if you'd like. Have a bend into that right knee. We're going to come through into half moon. Lift that left leg high. You can also bring your hands to a block. Holding and breathing wherever you're at, holding that triangle or in half moon. If you're in half moon, gently bend to that right knee. Plant your left leg. Come back into that bend, coming into extended side angle. Hold that bend in that front right knee. Reverse. One more time through. Maybe hovering that right arm. Reverse. From here, go ahead and pivot your right toes forward. We're going to come into big star. Come into God's pose, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Back to big star. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Big star. Go ahead and tee out the arms. We're going to do a forward fold. So your toes are parallel or slightly turned inwards. Folding forward, coming halfway. Stop and hold. Go ahead and release all the way down. Bringing your hands to the floor or blocks. You can bring your arms out in front. You can bring your arms directly underneath your shoulders to the outside of your ankles. Maybe walking your hands through, fingertips facing the back of your mat. Option to grab opposite elbows. Maybe sway from side to side. Go ahead and come back to the middle. Release your left hand to a floor or a block of your right foot. Spiral your right arm open. You can also keep your right hand to your hip. Gaze can be up or down. Release your right arm down. Walk your hands over to the left foot. Right hand to the floor or a block. Left hand to your hip or extend that arm up high towards the ceiling. Gaze can be up or down. Go ahead and release that left hand down. Coming back through center. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows, swaying once more, letting your neck hang nice and loose. Really releasing the lower back here. Go ahead and tee out your arms. Go ahead and roll all the way up. We're going to pivot the toes, right foot forward. We're going to come into warrior 1. So pivot the back toes to about 45, arms come up high overhead. Go and clasp your hands behind your back, opening up your chest. And we're going to hinge forward, bending over that front right knee, lifting up 2 more times. Humble warrior, hinging forward, lifting up. Once more. Go ahead and hold that hinge forward. Draw your arms out in front. Have a deep bend still in that front right knee. Hinge forward, coming into warrior 3. Lift that back left leg. Keep your hips squared. Left toes are flexed. Pulse it for 5 and 4. That's 3, 2, and 1. Step it back. Warrior 1. Arms come up high overhead. We're going to cartwheel down. Go ahead and step that right foot back. Right foot can be down or lift it. Come into your flow, lowering down. Coming up. And pressing up, downward facing dog, pelvic heels. Alright, let's do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and lift your left leg high to the ceiling. Draw your left knee to your left elbow. Kick it back. Knee to nose. Kick it back. Left knee to right elbow, hovering and holding. Go ahead and extend that left leg. Lay your right arm high towards the ceiling. We're going to lower the hips. Cartwheel the hands down. Left hand comes up high overhead. Reach your left hand to the outside of your right foot, maybe your right ankle, your calf, folding forward, bringing your crown of your head towards your toes. Draw your left hand back behind your left hip. Right arm comes up high overhead. Stargazer, extend your right arm nice and long. Release down. We're going to bring that right hand down to the floor. Draw your left knee back in. Kick it back. Step your left foot in between your palms. Coming to low crescent. Rise up to high. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Follow your back right foot. Press into the floor. We're going to bend that back knee. Cactus the arms. 2 more. Exhale as you bend the knee. Inhale to rise. Swing the arms back, hinge forward. Twice more, arms come up high overhead. Exhale as you hinge forward. Inhale to rise once more. Hold it here. Find your breath. Pivot the back right toes, open up to warrior 2. Tee out the arms, deep bend that front left knee. Draw the arms up as you straighten that front left leg. And bend. Once more. Hold that deep bend. Now straighten that front left leg. Tip out the hands, reverse your pyramid. Find that stretch in the left side body. Folding forward, pyramid pose. Left hand to the floor or to blocks. Right arm comes up high overhead. Once more through. Reverse your pyramid. Coming back through. Option to hold it here. You can bend into that left knee, finding your half moon, placing your left hand on the floor or block, maybe hovering in space. Lift that right leg high. If you want to challenge your balance, bring your gaze up. Hold it here if you're in pyramid or half moon. If you're in half moon, have a soft bend in that front left knee. Bend and step your right foot back. We're going to hold it here and extend a side angle. Keep that left knee bent. Go ahead and reverse. Tuck your right hand behind your back or down your right leg. Left arm comes up high overhead. One more time through, maybe hovering that left arm. You can also draw it forward and reverse. Go ahead and find your warrior 2. Tee out your arms. We're going to straighten that front left leg. Pivot your left toes. Feet are parallel or slightly turned in. Same thing here. Fold forward, coming halfway. Folding all the way down. Wide-legged forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. From here, Go ahead and bring your hands down towards the floor. Have a deep bend into your right knee. Extend your left leg long. Maybe point and flex your left toes. Maybe circle out your ankle. If you like to challenge your balance, you can draw your hands to heart center. Release your hands back to the floor if you had them at heart center. Coming over to the other side. Bend into that left knee. Extend the right leg long. Maybe point and flex. Circle out that right ankle. You want to challenge your balance on this side. Go ahead and draw your arms to heart center. You got the wobbles, that's okay. Go ahead and place your hands back to the center. Coming upright, straighten the legs. Forward fold, letting your neck hang nice and loose. Grabbing opposite elbows. Swaying side to side. This time, bring your hands to your hips and roll all the way up. Slow and controlled. Use your core. Pivot your left toes back forward. We're going to come into humble warrior. Draw your arms up high overhead. So your left toes are facing forward. Your back toes are at 45. Deep bend into that front left knee. Draw your arms behind your back. We're going to hinge forward, humble warrior for 3. Coming upright. 2 more. Last one, we're going to hold that hinge forward with a deep bend and that front left knee. Go ahead and draw your arms out in front, unclasp your arms, hinge forward, lifting into that right leg. Got this grass in my face. Square out your hips, flex your right toes. We're going to pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release that right leg down. Come back up, humble warrior. Cartwheel your hands down, step your left leg back, and back down. Held your heels. All right, we're going to go through that one more time. We're going to take out any pulses. All right, lift the right leg high to the ceiling. Draw your knee to your nose, kick it back. Right knee to right elbow, kick it back. Right knee to left elbow, kick it back. Step forward, coming up in a high crescent. Cactus the arms, exhale. Inhale to rise, 2 more. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, exhale. Draw the arms back, airplane the arms. Arms come up high overhead, 2 more. All right, open up warrior 2. Go ahead and straighten that front right leg, draw the arms up, and bend once more. All right, go ahead and straighten that front left leg. Reverse your pyramid. Feel that stretch in the right side body. Tick out the arms. Come into pyramid. Deep bend to that front right knee. Maybe hovering that right arm. Reverse your warrior. Go ahead and cartwheel down. Step your right leg back, find your flow, tabletop or chaturanga down. Coming through. Meet us in downward facing dog. Pedal your heels. Go ahead and lift your left leg high to the ceiling, flex your left toes. Draw your knee to your nose, kick it back. Knee to left elbow, kick it back. Knee to right elbow and hold. Kick it back. Left knee up in between your palms. Rise up to high crescent. Inhale as you bend the knee. Cactus the arms. And exhale. Inhale to rise. Hold it in high crescent. Hinge forward. And inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. 1 more. All right, hold it in high crescent. Find your breath. Big inhale. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. Straighten that front left leg. Arms come up high overhead. 1 more. Deep bend. Arms up high. Hold that deep bend. Straighten that front left leg. Reverse your pyramid. Next exhale, come into pyramid. Really reach those fingertips long in opposite directions. Deep bend your front left leg. Maybe extend that left arm. Reverse. And cartwheel down. Step your left leg back. Find your flow, tabletop or chaturanga down. Come back, downward facing dog. All right, go ahead and lift your right leg high to the ceiling. Bend your right knee, stack your hips. Maybe point, flex, circle out your right ankle. Maybe circle out your hip. And then draw your right knee down towards your right elbow, coming into pigeon. Option also come onto your back, drawing that right knee in towards your chest. Relax your left toes. Few options here. You can walk your hands back, coming upright, placing your hands on the floor, or you can place your hand on blocks. Folding forward. Maybe bringing your chin or your forehead to the floor or to blocks. If you like, you can roll from side to side. One of my favorite stretches in pigeon. Really opening up that outer right hip. Go ahead and come back upright. Bend your left knee. Reaching your left hand back towards your toes. Maybe find that deeper stretch. Now that we're nice and warmed up. Gazing back over your left shoulder. Nice quad stretch here. Release your left toes. Draw your left hand down. Tuck your left toes high to the ceiling. Lift your right leg. Bend your knee. Optional hold it here. You can also flip your dog, coming a wild thing. Bringing your right foot to the outside of your left hip. Extend your right arm long. Pressing your hips forward. Coming back, find your downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high to the ceiling. Bend your knees, stacking your hips. Maybe circle out that ankle. Maybe circle out that knee down and around. And then reverse in the direction. Hopefully your knee does not crack like mine keeps doing. Hopefully y'all can't hear it. All right, go ahead and draw that left knee down towards the left wrist. Always an option to come onto your back and draw that left knee in. Relax your right toes. You can walk up, hands to the floor or to blocks. Bringing your gaze further back. You're welcome to hinge forward. Also on the blocks if you'd like. You bring your chin or your forehead down to the floor. If you'd like that deeper stretch in your outer left hip pocket, you can roll side to side. Go ahead and press your palms up. Keep your left hand on the floor. Bend your right knee. Reach back. Maybe this time you can grab your right foot. That nice quad stretch. Gazing, looking over your right shoulder. Go ahead and release down. Tuck your right toes. Lift your left leg high to the ceiling. Option to hold it here. You can flip your dog, drawing your right foot to the outside of your left hip. Extend your left arm long, pressing your hips forward. Coming back, left hand down. Find your downward facing dog. Go ahead and lower your knees. Bring your left or right hip to the floor. All right, let's just do a little bit of core because it's so much fun. All right, from here, we're gonna find a boat pose. So your feet can be flat on the floor. You can lift your legs, knees bent. You can straighten your legs, reach your hands to your ankles. We're gonna hold it for 5, And slowly lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms and legs extend long, hovering them to an X position. Draw your knees to your elbows, elbows to your knees for 10, and extend. That's 9, and 8, that's 7, last 6, 5, you're halfway there, you've got it, 4, last 3, 2, and last 1. Hold your knees into your chest, relax your head down to the floor, maybe rolling side to side. Go ahead and plant your feet flat on the floor. Bring your palms down by your side. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. We're going to lift and lower the hips for 5. And 4. Last 3. 2. And 1 more. Alright, go ahead and grab your block. Lift your hips. Bring your block to the lowest setting. Place it underneath your hips. Resting your hips on the block. Lift your legs high to the ceiling. Draw your arms up to meet your toes. Legs up the wall. Maybe point and flex. Maybe circle out the ankles. Everything moving all morning. Go ahead and lower the knees. Feet are flat on the floor. Lift your hips, release that block. Bring the block over to the side. Go ahead and draw your knees into your chest. Release your left leg long. Keep the left leg hovering, left toes are flexed. Right knee in towards your right shoulder, avoiding your rib cage. Tuck your chin to your chest, shoulders are hovering. Active stretch, maybe point and flex, circle out that right ankle just a little bit more. Alright, release your left leg, shoulders flat on the floor. With your left hand, grab the outside of your right knee, draw it across the left side of your body. Gazing, looking over your right shoulder, supine twist. Maybe extend your right arm long to a T. You can also cactus that arm, palm facing up, fingertips facing the crown of your head. Back to the middle, keeping your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Maybe drawing a few circles here with your hip. And reverse that circle. And switching sides, right leg extends long, keep that right leg hovering, right toes flexed, left knee in towards your left shoulder. Tuck your chin to your chest, hover your shoulders. Holding and breathing. Maybe point and flex, circle out that left ankle. Relax your shoulders, relax your right leg. With your right hand, grab the outside of your left knee, draw it across the right side of your body, gazing and looking over your left shoulder. Maybe extend that left arm long. Maybe cactus that arm, bending that elbow, palm facing up. And then coming back to the center, keeping your left knee in towards your left shoulder, circling out that hip. Of course, reversing that direction. Draw both knees in towards your chest. Extend your knees. You can grab the back side of your thighs. You can also grab the outside of your feet, coming into happy baby. Wherever you grab your feet or your legs, just making sure your lower back is pressed into the floor. Maybe rolling side to side if that feels good to you. You can come into ninja baby with your back flat on the floor. Draw one leg in, extending the opposite leg. Switching sides. You can extend both legs wide. And draw the soles of the feet to touch. Opening up the hips. Go ahead and extend your legs back up towards the ceiling. Release your hands down by your hips, palms facing up. And gently and slowly lower your legs towards the floor, keeping your lower back intact with your mat. Lowering it all the way down, neck is flat on the floor. Close your eyes. As your heels come down to the earth, heels to touch, toes fall open. And then once you get there, squeezing everything. Squeeze your toes, squeeze your thighs, your glutes, your palms, and then relaxing everything. On your next exhale, go and extend your arms long overhead and roll onto your left or right side, drawing your knees in through your chest. This morning. And then push yourself up, come to a seated position of your choice. Option to bring your hands to your heart or place your palms facing up on your thighs. Maybe keep your eyes closed. Take this moment to thank yourself for showing up to your mat this morning and putting yourself first. It is always a pleasure to share my practice with each of you. Namaste. Thank you all so very much.